Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Go Code Media, where everything we do is all about making your code better. Today, we are going to be building this practical filterable vanilla JavaScript based a list where you can actually, as you can see, you can filter like a list. Imagine you go to like an e-commerce website and you want to see list of electronics, list of clothes, list of household equipment, something like this. So you can easily put different lists. So it's very practical, and you can even use it in your next project. So let's just dive right in. Yes. Ideally, what you want to do, go back to your VS Code, of course, as usual. You want to create your index.html as you might want it. Of course, you want to start with an emmet shortcut. You can easily change this to filterable list using vanilla.js, something like that. And of course, if you like, you can also create your style sheet already. And you just want to link it. So I just come here, style.css. There we go. Now that we have this, let's just start. We have to create the HTML, the H1, and all these buttons. Yeah, how are we supposed to do that? Of course, we can put the static item. For example, you have this one. I'll just copy what I made earlier because you don't need to look me typing all this. Something like this. Now let's see what we have so far. I'm going to run this with a VS Code extension called Live Server. If you don't have it, you can just install it from here. You have Live Server there, is right there. Just install it. It's very, very cool. I highly recommend it. So there you have it. As you can see, style nothing. So if you want to start seeing style already, you can just go. I already made like a pre-made style. This is not a CSS video, so you can just copy and paste it there. I think sorry, not this one. I think the wrong one. Yeah, I think it was this one. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, some centering and stuff starts already. So let's go back, and I'm going to explain what we have here. So we start with just like a div, of course, and the H1, as you see there, and of course the button container. This is the container because, as you can see here, it wraps. There's like a container that wraps. If we have used this thing called, let me show you, I think it's called pesticide, something like that. I hope I can see it on time, otherwise, okay, I think, yeah, this one. As you can see, this is like one. So there's a container. We are going to create this now, and there's one other big container that wrap all this also. So this is what we are trying to do. So I think I just remove it again. Yeah. So let's continue. So we have that there. Good. And the next thing we want to do, of course, we want to populate our data so that we can create this button, as you can see. But this button should come from where? We have like a data. I came up with something, so let's just populate it. I'm going to put it here now, .js. Yep, something like this. Let's look at the structure of this data. Let's just can call it, of course, list item. It doesn't have to be T, list item, and of course different names. So it has a structure like the name, as you can see here. This is the name, of course the picture, and of course the price and all of that stuff. The price, the category, that is the most important part, because we can generate our button based on this category. Because now we have this, there's also the same category, there's the same category here and there. So we have to populate this and create this whole button. So let's see how we are going to do that. So we want to go to our index.js. Let's create it. Then we want to start selecting, of course. Let's say const button container. We want it like that. And that is going to be document.query selector. Yeah. And that will be, I think I call it button container. Yeah, something like this, just to be sure. Let's check it again. Yeah, button container. And the second one is list container. I'll just copy this one and I duplicate it. So this is list container, and that should be list container. Yeah, I hope we should be selecting it right. Yeah, good. But then I'm supposed to select my data now, but I don't have access to it. And also, I don't also have access to my index.js because we have not connected it. So what do? We just script src, script src. Yeah, this one. So I want to start with my data first because of scoping issue. I would explain better. Then of course index.js. .js. I should put a dot there. I need to also put here. Because if I want to access the data from here, then it has to be declared already. Because of course it's going to load it according to the hierarchy, the level that you actually imported it. So let's continue quickly. So let's just check that at least list item is there, just to be sure. So I can easily see from my console. Yeah, there we have it. So we have the list of all the items, and it's just array of object, 18 of them. So now that we have it, you can easily start working and just create your data. So I would just say ideally const data, and then it's going to be the list item just to save it temporarily. So once I have that, so now I want to create this bunch of like items, these and these and these. How am I going to do it? It's very simple. There's something we call iOrder function in ES6 feature, map, filter, reduce, and all this other stuff. They are very important. So we can easily use filter here. We can easily use map here because we are not really reducing the size. It's still the same nature. Map is just like you're transforming the shape or the look. For example, I can easily say const category items, category items or buttons, anything you want to call it, it's okay. That would just be the data. If you like, you can just call it straight away the list items. Yeah. Dot map item, and that will be, let's just log it and see. Console.log item, for example. So if I come back and look, so let me reload this one so you can see. Okay, it's like a lot of them now. Yeah, there we have it. It's coming from line 6. Yes, so we have it, but we don't have all the, we don't actually need all the list item. We only need the category part of it. So how are we supposed to do that? It's very easy. We just say item.category. Why? Remember, from the data itself, it has a category, and that's what we want. We want to change the shape, the way it looks. And let's log it and see what we have. Of course, we have to console.log it, otherwise we cannot see anything. So we are done with this one now. Hopefully, CLG category items, something like this. There we have it. But the problem is that we have a lot of repetition, but we don't want this kind of repetition. How are we supposed to do it? There's another feature in ES6 also called sets, and we are going to be using that. And how are you going to supposed to do that? So I think I will just call this let so that I can reassign it. So I will just say let category items, and that is going to be now new set. So and there you have it. Now see what's going to happen. It gives you unique, so we only have 6 of them. But the problem is that this is actually a set, it's not an array. And a set generally is not as easy and flexible to work with. Of course, this is not the only way to do it. You can like use it manually and just say, but this is quite like very easy, and it has quite good support also. So what are we supposed to do next? Is very easy. We can easily use array method like array.from, or we just use spread operator by using a square bracket. Now, if we spread it now, what is going to happen? Let's see. There we have it. So we have an array now, not more sets. But now the problem is, if you go back, we have something called all. This all is always at the beginning because, of course, you filter something, you show this, but then you also want to see everything sometimes. So it's better to also at least have the all button. So how are we supposed to do that? It's very easy. You just had like a string at the beginning called all, and it will be populated there. And there you go. So let's go back and check just to be sure. There you go. Now the next step is that we want to create now the buttons. So we can just say cast buttons. The same way, we are just going to use map again. And that was supposed to be now the button itself, and that will be button. So I'm going to call it like an HTML now, and that will be type. It's got a button, and of course let's also put a class there. That's a btn. And this auto completion is really cool. I really recommend the tab 9. It's actually a VS Code extension. It suggests based on AI, so I highly recommend it. So what are we supposed to type? Is just an item also. Now let's log it. We see. Okay, we have not really logged it. If you like, you can still log it and see just to be sure. Button, no, it's not button, it's actually called buttons. So let's save it and see again. There you have it. So you have 7 buttons. Now ideally the next thing is just for you to easily just like show it on the UI. How do you do that? It's very easy. Remember we selected the button container, so just put it inside it as an inner HTML. So I just say button container.inner HTML, and that will be equals to the buttons. And there we go. Now let me close this so that you can see it properly. Now there's this weird comma everywhere. Why is it coming? It's coming because normally it's an array. You remember when I showed you the buttons? So let's go back and look. There's 7, of course. You can see it's just this button then comma because it's an array. So you actually pass it inside as a string. That's why we use this this backtick. Yeah, I forgot the exact name now. Template literals, yes, template literals. So it's just spit out what you actually give it. So how you're supposed to do it is very easy. Just go and join it. And if you see also, the system also was actually suggesting that we should also join it by empty space. And there you have it. So this is the end of the first part. So I hope you're going to join me for the second part. Then we are going to display all the items in the card with all this nice price and everything. And thank you for joining me again, and have a good time. Bye.